What's up, you guys? It is yours truly, La La Huxtable, here in the place to be. Listen, you're here at La La Reacts. Go ahead and thumbs up this video, like, and share this content. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Go ahead and subscribe, boo. And hop on this train with me because next stop, we're going to Amityville. Play that theme song.
What she be doing?
She be talking movies. She be talking trailers.
Yeah.
She be in the room spraying perfume and doing reviews.
Okay.
Reviews.
Okay.
Reviews.
What she be doing?
Doing reviews. All right, you guys, we have made it to Amityville, New York. Now, I know you guys are wondering, like, what the hell is she talking about? Honey, what I'm talking about is there was a movie that was supposed to have been made back in, like, it was announced in 2012, I want to say. It was announced in 2012, and it was supposed to have been the Amityville Horror Lost Tapes. Whatever happened to that? Why wasn't it ever made? Why are we getting all these shitty Amityville movies and we haven't even gotten that movie? Like, I wanted to see that movie. Whatever happened to it? Let's dig deep inside of what the Amityville Horror Lost Tapes was supposed to be about. So it's saying that the Amityville Horror, The Lost Tapes, showcases the events after the time of the original The Amityville Horror book and movie through found footage dating back to 1976. Now, you do know back in 1974 that Ronald DeFeo, he did murder his family in the house. The Lutz family moved in a year later and they experienced all of these hauntings and everything that people are saying that was not true, that it never happened. There are people who moved in after the Lutz family did and other people who also lives in the house to this day, and they say that there's nothing there, like there's nothing supernatural that's going on. But you got to understand that there was a family that was murdered in the house before the Lutz family moved in. Maybe that family was still there, living there, not knowing that they were dead, and they're living there as a family. I know that sounds stupid, but you got to think about it. You got to think about it. They were murdered in their sleep. So you got to think about this family moving in. Maybe they're thinking that they're intruders. You know, the dad was mean as hell. So, yeah. So, maybe they're thinking that the Lutz family was, breaking into their home and all that stuff. I mean, come on, you got to think about stuff like that. So, there was a tragedy in the home, people. So the Lutz family, the George and Kathy Lutz, they said that they passed with flying colors. With a lie detector test, they passed that with flying colors. And so I think that some of their story is true, not all of it. I think that something did happen to them in the house. I think that Hollywood, and of course the book with George and Kathy Lutz, being a part of the book, maybe they added a little bit to the book to make it interesting, to keep you reading it, to keep you interested into like what was happening next, to keep you turning the pages, pretty much, to keep everyone talking. And then the movie came out, and I just think that Hollywood is known for adding their magic to movies, adding their fantasies, their lies, and all that stuff to movies to amp it up a little bit. And sometimes when you amp up something, like, it just destroys the whole story. Just give me something creepy. And I think that what they experienced was creepy. I think it was very, very creepy. But back to this the Amityville Horror Lost Tapes synopsis. So it says, an ambitious female television news intern on the verge of breaking the most famous haunted house case in the world leads a team of journalists, clergymen, and paranormal researchers into an investigation of the bizarre events that will come to be known as the Amityville Horror, only to unwittingly open a door to the unreal that she may never be able to close. Now, that seems pretty good to me, and I would love to go back to the original setup of the house, the movie house and all that good stuff. I know it wouldn't be in Toms River, New Jersey. They got to remake it, just like how they did in Amityville: The Awakening and Amityville Murders, which I'm about to talk about the directors of that. So the film was going to be directed by Casey La Scala, who went on and directed Amityville: The Awakening. Amityville: The Awakening to me was, how can I be nice about this? Amityville: The Awakening to me was garbage. Okay, because it looked like it was unfinished. Like whatever happened with the reshoots and everything was not put into the movie. I'm seeing the trailer of this movie and everything, and like you get to the movie and like none of the stuff that was in the trailer is in the movie. Like you had Bella Thorne walking down this hallway, and supposedly she got grabbed by like a pair of hands or whatever, or arms through a door. And like none of that happened in the movie. So I'm looking like, where the fuck is that at? Like that was a cool scene. I want to see that. But what they gave us was like an unfinished version of the movie, because you have all these scenes that just doesn't make sense. And you look like, well damn, where'd that come from? You know? So I would like to see a director's cut of this film if they have one. The film is actually free on YouTube. As of today, I think it's still free on YouTube. So you can still see that movie to this day if you haven't seen it yet. And it's called Amityville: The Awakening. Casey La Scala, or La Scala, she directed that film. And also, another person who was attached to the Amityville Horror Lost tapes is also Daniel Ferrens, who directed the Amityville Murders. Loved that film. Loved the house. They made it seem like it was the actual house, and I love that. Um, he also directed the Crystal Lake Memories too. So Daniel Ferrens, he's out here doing his thing. Casey, she's out here doing her thing too. So I would love to see them two come back together and breathe life back into this the Amityville Horror: The Lost Tapes. I really want to see this movie. And little known fact is that the success of The Conjuring was supposed to push the Amityville Horror: The Lost Tapes to get a set release date that some of us fans are still hoping for. I know I am. So who knows? Maybe they will go back and remake this film. Hopefully somebody will, just breathe life into this film, because I really want to see it. I'm tired of all these movies that's slapping Amityville into the name and it don't have shit to do with Amityville, okay? Like it's really pissing me off, because Amityville was a franchise that could have been super successful without all of these stupid movies that don't have shit to do with Amityville. I want to go back to the original house. Like, take me back to the Tom's River setup of the movie house, or do like how Daniel did, and he built the actual home, so to speak. So that was just pretty cool to me. I don't want to see any of these movies set in a different house. Now I know part four they did that, and they did good. And there's only two of those Amityville movies that have the actual house on the poster. That's part four and Amityville: The Curse that I know of. All the rest of these Amityville movies, they have the house and the eye looking windows and all that stuff. I don't want to, if I see a movie like that, I want to see that in the movie. The house itself was a character. Okay, the house itself was a freaking character. So you got to understand that people, they go to see these Amityville movies because of the house too and all that stuff. So the characters, they they can bring it or they can't. But the house, of course, you see the setup of the house and all that stuff, and you see those lights and everything, and the windows at the top of the attic and all that stuff. So that's just pretty creepy. And I just want to see a very creepy Amityville movie. Fuck the jump scares and all that stuff. I'm not really for that. Yes, it's fun at times, but if you're gonna have it throughout the whole film, 2005, if you're gonna have it throughout the whole film, pretty much, it's like, dude, like, what are you doing? And don't get me wrong, 2005 Amityville horror remake, it was okay. I think that the house was too big. They could have did something, more relatable, that we all knew and love. Bring back the original house setup. Why make it something, bigger? Like, you just pretty much damaged the movie. You just pretty much damaged what we all know and love. So I understand they're trying to go with their own vision of it, but dude, we want the original house that we know and love. That's the character we know and love. So I would really love for Daniel Farrens and Casey Lascala, I hope I'm saying your name right, to go back and breathe life into this movie, or just release it. Just release it to the release the finished version of this movie to us. Don't give us like what the Amityville: The Awakening gave us. Don't give us that, because I was really pissed off about that. I was very pissed off. But I think if Amityville: The Awakening would have put everything into it, like put all of the cuts into it and everything, instead of taking pieces out and not putting other pieces back in when they did the reshots or the reshoots, it messed up the movie. It really messed up the movie, and that could have been a great film. That could have been a start to really bring back the franchise of Amityville that we know and love. So, you know, um, Daniel, Casey, bring it back. I love you guys for listening. I love you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in to Lala Reacts. I am a huge Amityville lover. What's your favorite Amityville movie, by the way? Because mine is part four. I don't know why, but I've always loved part four for some reason. I love part two as well. Part one was okay. Part three was okay too, but part two and four for me, I love those. The ones about the clock and all the other stuff, they can kill that. I didn't too much care for it, but I did watch it as a kid. But yeah, what is your favorite Amityville movie? And would you care to see the Amityville Horror, The Lost Tapes? Are you interested in seeing it? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down if you don't want to see it, but give me a thumbs up if you do want to see it. And also, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you are giving me a thumbs up on this channel. Make sure you are sharing this channel with all of your friends and your loved ones. And I will see you guys back in the next episode. I am your boo, La La Huxtable. Thank you for coming to Amityville with me, and we're going back. Bye.